not a test. This is rock and roll. Time to rock it from the Delta to the DMZ. Is that me or does that sound like an Elvis Presley movie? Viva Da Nang.
Anything. All the days when not a thing went right. All the pain, all the sleepless nights.
Good evening, Base T. Lovely to see you.
I'm a warrior. I'm blessed because I can't fight.
What up, Base T? Thank you.
I wouldn't let failure take my life. I'm not blessed because it all went right. I'll never give up. I'm blessed because I can't fight. Broken in pain, lonely, battered and bruised, always the same day. Nothing new or unusual, seems like nothing changed. It's always the same rules. No matter how bad it gets, I refuse to lose. No matter how bad it gets, I'll keep on moving. No
Dick and
matter
Doris
how
in the
bad it
house.
gets, I can still choose to keep fighting up, to keep trying up, to keep grinding up, keep rising up. I just got to that point where enough was enough. I can't keep complaining, sitting and waiting for luck. I have to stop asking why me and start looking inside. Push through the pain and tell my story on the other side. Had to renew my mind and start fighting. I won't lie, it was frightening, but I survived. That choice got me to where I am today. If you think things always went my way, listen close to what I gotta say. All the days when not a thing went right. All the pain, all the sleepless nights. I'm not blessed because it all went right. I'm a warrior. I'm blessed because I can't fight when life try to take my mind. I won't let anything take my mind. I'm not blessed because it all went right. I'll never give up. I'm blessed because I can't. They never got to see all the sleepless nights.
Little Eight Angels in the house. Good evening.
All the knockdowns, knockbacks, and failed tries. They don't see the wounds as scars because they're internalized. They think I'm blessed and think that everything went right. They just see the end results.
Hey, E333. Good evening to you. Hit the thumbs up as you come in, please. That'd be fabulous. Red pill.
Keep on running out. All the days when not a thing went right. All the pain, all the sleepless nights. I'm not blessed because it all went right. I'm a warrior. I'm blessed because I can't fight when life try to take my mind. I won't let anything take my mind. I'm not blessed.
All right, Bear, I'm going to get going now.
I'll never give up.
I'm blessed because I got fight. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I've got... Oh, the music's a little bit loud in the background. Good evening. Welcome. It's Monday the 4th of August, 2025, and I've got some awful music playing in the background, which is not going to be suitable for tonight's show. My hair's gone a little bit bonkers tonight. Let me just see. Hello. Okay, I've got the wrong music going. I need my background music to be a little bit quieter. Mind you, looking at the scenery. Look at that, quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very close to what I'm planning to have for my island. That's too small. I'm afraid that I don't like this music. I'm trying to get it. I need to get the music super low. I don't want to have that going, so even though I like the footage, listen, I need to have this in the background because algorithms pick up voices, pick up words. And ever since I discovered Salty Cracker's secret, see how that's nice and quiet? It doesn't drown me out. I cannot stand music that is too loud, that drowns out the speaker. Unless, of course, it's meant to, right? If it's meant to do that, then fine. Anyway, the world's gone mad. I feel like, in fact, I'm going to say good evening to the D-Live crew, the Rumble crew, and Foxhole or Pill.net. How are we doing tonight? This Monday, this fabulous Monday. It doesn't feel like Monday because genuinely, it doesn't feel like Monday. It doesn't feel like the 4th of August. Was it a bank holiday today? I don't know. Because of the weather, really. Crappy weather in the south of England. Just rain, miserable. I'm trying to find my controls. That's why I'm looking a bit confused. How is everybody out there in viewer land and listening land? Obviously, if you're listening and not viewing, then you obviously won't let me know in the chat because you don't have access. I'm just going to bring up my backdrop, which is a bit better. Although, of course, the top I'm wearing is clashing with the colour in the back, which is always, well, it's never a good thing. But again, if you're just listening and you can't see me, then you don't care. All right, so I'm just going to check with you. Before I say hello, I've said hello to Bass T. I've seen Dick and Doris in the house. E333 in Rumble. Thank you for joining me there. Dick and Doris, Bass Davey. Will we be on the island before your birthday? Oh. As long as your birthday's not the 12th of never, there may be a good chance. It feels a little bit like it could be on the 12th of never. It genuinely doesn't really feel like it's ever going to happen, does it? Now, Marie Walker 53, good evening to you. Little Ace Angel is in the house. Christine UK, I missed you. Hello, good evening. Lovely to see you. And who have we got? Quantum Respawn is looking for my island. Quantum Respawn needs the price to go. We need it to explode. And look, do you know, besides, okay, well, before I start into the whole future financial glory that will be ours, those of us in this, in the digital asset space, right? I'm telling you, mark my words. First of all, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. I've had a big build-up and then I've forgotten it. Oh, yes. I do want to do a quick straw poll. I know I do these straw polls, but I just want to get an idea if others feel in a sort of similar vein to myself. Please do put a 1 in the chat. If my, well, of course, the thumbnail's not showing on DLive. For some reason, DLive doesn't give us the ability to put thumbnails up for the show. But on Rumble and Pill.net, and no, not on YouTube, the YouTube channel either, nor the others, I have the Groundhog Day image. And in fact, in my titles, have I put Groundhog Day? Maybe I did, sorry. I think I did change it, did I? No, I didn't. DLive has got a different title, I think. Oh, no. I put in the description about Groundhog Day. Anyway, what I've done for the image, for the thumbnail, is an image of Groundhog, the Groundhog with Tuxahoney Phil, or whatever the hell his name is. And in the description of Rumble and Pill.net, I've mentioned Groundhog Day. It just feels to me, for me, I feel as though with all the stuff that's, the news cycles that are going around are literally cycling around, recycling. And especially when it comes to the US, I mean, pretty much all of the news is a repetition of the same similar topics, just not bright horizons. Donald Trump, I'm awaiting the first arrest, okay? I'm not interested in hearing any more about Obama and the corruption, and Clinton and the corruption, and the demon rats and the corruption, and the theft of the 2020 election, the attempted heist of the 2016 election, all that stuff, the Russiagate, the Russia hoax. It's very, very surreal for me, because I feel as though our news cycle, when it comes to the scandal, the horrific events that happened in America through the years, through the last 9 years, with regards to how the revelations of the spying, the sabotage of elections, the complete takeover, or the revelations of how the dark government has been behaving forever. You know, we're 2025. This is Donald Trump's second term, and he's yet to arrest anybody. Now, I guess I'll give him a free pass for the first term because of the plan. Trust the plan, the Q plan. We've got everything. We have everything. We have everything. They've had everything. They don't need any more. To send them all to Gitmo. I mean, I'm sorry, is it me? So I feel Groundhog Day is coming. I cannot listen now. I genuinely cannot bring myself to listen to the talking points, the talking heads on our side of the spectrum, because they are just regurgitating everything that we already knew and acting as though it's all scandalous, a surprise. Arrest the criminals. Arrest those. How about starting with Biden, who enabled the country, whether he was the faux president or not? Look, listen, neither Biden nor Obama were legitimate presidents of the United States. Obama primarily because he's actually born in Kenya, and for those who may not be aware, in order to become an American president or a president of the United States of America, just in the Matrix world, one has to have been born in America, as you yourself have to be a naturally born, whatever, on the land. Okay? Becoming a so-called naturalized citizen doesn't work. If you were born in another country, that you do not qualify to become the President of the United States. So just that in itself disqualifies. It's been proven beyond any shadow of any doubt whatsoever, even out of his own mouth, that he was born in Kenya. Okay? So that's him out. So everything that he did for the 8 years, null and void. Everything, all the hell on earth that was created under his corrupt regime, and all who were with him, including the flippin' Clintons, null and void. Let's just do it, right? So, then of course we have Donald Trump. They tried to steal it for her, for Hillary, which thank God, it didn't happen. And then we had the fiasco of the Biden regime, where absolutely, I mean, do you remember the circles? Do you remember the COVID pandemic? With them all standing in circles, and did you remember the horns? Remember the truck, the horn rallies with the Biden? I mean, I just oh, please make it stop. When is sanity going to return to my world? When is it? You know when it's going to return? When I have my untold wealth, and I'm able to make my escape from the madness that is my present circumstances. Anyway, pardon me for this, but I'm on a rant, right? Because as well, right? No, it's not just the repetition and the regurgitation of everything that those of us who've been, having our finger on the pulse with regards to the skullduggery and the deep state swamp creatures, which are totally destroying our world. Currently, Donald Trump is carrying on the nonsense with Russia, with the Russia-Ukraine crap. Okay, again, I should just put I need to not have expectations. That is my downfall. Because before President Trump was duly elected, he made it clear ad nauseum that Russia-Ukraine wouldn't have happened if I'd been the president. The reason why it wouldn't have happened, of course, was because America, the dark side, the bioweapons, the biowarfare, the laundering, money laundering, human trafficking, and all the other stuff that the dark side, deep state, demonic entities were utilizing this landmass called Ukraine, which isn't actually a legitimate country. Should Donald Trump have been the president, which of course he was, but he wasn't recognized as the president, there would have been no Ukraine-Russia conflict, because the war didn't start with Russia invading Ukraine. It started because it was prompted and tipping over the edge because the West, with America's instigation, right, and the Europeans, were bombarding eastern Ukraine, the Donbass region, and it hasn't really come to light properly, but my understanding of the situation was that Rootin' Tootin' Putin was trying to defend the people of that region because the Russian-speaking people who'd been under attack for 8 years from the onslaught of terrible crimes by the so-called government of Ukraine. For 8 years, they were under attack. It was absolutely an abomination. Watch Oliver Stone's Ukraine on Fire. If you don't know about it, for goodness sake, you have to see that. And your whole perception of the world will just alter to a degree of what the isms everywhere. So, Russia did a special military operation to protect the people of Eastern Ukraine, to denazify Ukraine, to clear out the biolabs, or neutralize the biolabs, get them safe, to, right? All of that stuff. And we are still in 2025. This started, was it 2022, February? We're still, now Donald's talking about Russia, blaming Russia for things that of course was done, you know, the blaming Russia for the peace deal falling through because the claiming that Russia bombed Kiev is a nonsense, right? Putin did not bomb Kiev. There's no evidence of it whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense to a logical, sane individual that Putin would have any reason he would not bomb civilians, all right? It's just not, it's not his thing. He's not there for that. He's not there to take over Ukraine. So it's all nonsense. And so, you know, Donald Trump to be saying how Putin, I'm mad at Putin because he keeps breaking the peace, he keeps breaking the truce, which of course he doesn't. And he said he was going to sort it out within the first 24 hours, of course, of him getting into office. Well, a long 24 hours, can I tell you, Donald? And now you're kind of sort of repeating the fake stream media news narrative about rootin' tootin' Putin, and you're talking about, thinking about doing, you know, giving him 10 days. I'm just over this crap, okay? I'm over that. Of course, those of you who've been watching my content and watching and looking at my website that shows you the absolutely irrefutable evidence about the Gazan situation, the fake starvation BS of the fake stream media news and the politicians, every single politician singing from the same hymn sheet, singing the same tune, spouting the same crap, showing the same pictures, but of course not showing the stuff with all the cafes and the skullduggery and the deception that's going on. You know, I mean, the whole of it is just driving me dippy. I had hoped that at this stage of the game, August of 2025, that my beautiful digital assets would have gone to the moon, baby, and that I would have been able to make my escape from this hellscape that is surrounding me, the geopolitical crap that's going on, that's pretty much fake news or twisted news. And yet I find myself still, sadly, in the same frickin' place, and I'm very pissed off. So Donald Trump is talking about the starving children now in Gaza. He still does mention October 7th. You know, he doesn't ever mention, you know, he doesn't engage in the so-called Palestinian question, free Palestine, right? He talks about October 7th, and he's talking about the starving children, which the children are not starving. You know, with me, I just want people to tell the truth. And I can handle the truth, unlike apparently many others of opposing political positions to myself. I am one individual, one woman, who can definitely handle the truth. The problem is, it's rarely told. It's very rarely told. And when it is told, it's called a lie, or disinformation, or misinformation, or some such crap. I'm over it now, okay? Do you get it? I mean, it's only Monday. I'm done. Okay. Should I take a breath? I don't know. Am I live? You know what? I bet I'm muted. I'm probably bloody muted, and you haven't caught any of that. I mean, that would just be my luck, is that I'm muted. And my entire monologue of ranting will have gone into the ether of dead air, which would actually suit and fit for a Monday and my life right at this moment in time. So anyway, UK Neil is in the house. Hello, UK Neil. Got an EXLP, baby? A woohoo first arrest. Oh, God, Fauci. Oh, my days. You know what, ladies? This morning I did go down memory lane. I did. I took a trip down memory lane. I come across, you know, you do. You happen to be, your phone happens to have a memory, the photos and videos that you take. And it just so happens that whilst a lot of my footage is of beautiful nature and birds and flowers and all that good stuff, it also happens to have quite some hard-hitting, journalistic, historically, possibly relevant encounters, such as the Jibbity Jab summer of Jibbity Jabs, the numpties, right? Hospitals closing. So anyway, this morning I played a few videos because I found them, you know, they popped up on my phone. I thought, oh yeah, oh sure, that was what, 4 years ago. That's incredible. 4 years since that hell summer. Although actually 4 years was when we were so-called set free, or we set ourselves free. But can you believe that much time? And we mustn't forget. Dick and Doris says, Based Amy, when will common sense make a comeback? It's not common anymore. It's not common and there's no sense. Okay, Dick and Doris. That's the problem. We are... we're in mad world, okay? You know the other thing that really got my goat? I'm sorry, not sorry. Okay, but the pride thing. I need to get clarity on pride. I don't understand the need that certain people have to declare their prideness, their pride, sense of pride, of being attracted to the opposite. I mean, no, to the same. Sorry, see, but to the same sex. And you know what? The world's been inflicted. Of course, I do know, and I know the dark side, deep state, dark side agenda, right? I gotta take a deep breath. Maybe I'll just ring my bell. Or maybe have this as a. No, it's not got quite the same. No, that doesn't relax me at all. That just irritates me. In fact, that PTSDs me right back into the pandemic when I was in the garden going, the unclean is here to see the doggies. Bring out the doggies. Would you be so kind? Okay. All right. No, I haven't actually gone mad. I mean, I could be diagnosed as that, but I think being mad might be quite pleasant. Be honest, it'd be a great place to be. I mean, nobody takes me seriously anyway. Very few. So, what's the difference? What's the diff? Okay. Oh, the firmament video. Well, you know what? That's a complete change of topic, isn't it, Wayne of Pain? Wayne of Pain's in the house. Wayne of Pain sent me a fabulous video. Could you put it can you link it in the chat? Oh yes, Snap Brim Hand Crank. P is suspiciously missing from LGBTQ and I don't even want to know what P is. You're not talking about here, huh? Are you? I don't know what P is. Anyway, I don't want to know it. But anyway, so yes, that's what things get me with the current affairs, right? Is that from what I understood of this nonsense, June is my birth month, right? And June has been hijacked by lunatics who wanted to call apparently Pride Month. Right, they've taken the whole month. Everybody else has a day, right? Everybody else has a special day. But for some reason, people who nobody really wants to know about what they get up to behind closed doors, right? Nobody really wants to know about it. For some reason, they want to declare it from the rooftops, and they want everybody to talk. They want everybody to be celebrating it with them for a month. I don't even want to celebrate for a minute, okay? Because if we go down the natural route and the natural course of events and the natural course of things, reproductively speaking, the world would come to an end. The world would die off if everyone decided that they were going to stay with the same house. Because no matter what anybody does, no sex change has ever been successful. It's been an absolute, right? Ever. Immaculate Conception, as far as in my recollection, has only been successful once in humankind's existence, and that was a very long time ago. And so, for some reason, they've got a month to muck about. They've taken the rainbow, which pisses me off because I love rainbows. I do. I love the natural rainbow. The thing is, though, is that what's made it a bit different with the rainbows is that they've added different colours, which are really unpleasant when you discover what those colours actually mean. But that being said, that to one side. Not only was it hijacked, my birth month, which used to be a fabulous month, which is June, also hijacked by the activists of the Juneteenth, of the non-existent The non-existent, never in a day. Everything, there seems to have been things invented and created in the last 5 years or 10 years at the most, and given historical gravitas as though they were here forever. So Juneteenth, which is something I believe to do with the the slavery days, if that was even true, you know, I mean, it was true. Anyway, let's go with the slavery. I believe it was the emancipation? Was it the emancipation of the slaves that they're celebrating? I don't know, because they seem pretty miserable. It seems to me that the group of people who were apparently set free, seemingly they never get over it. Huh? Well, actually, no, they did. They did up until about 20 years ago, and then they decided they weren't happy anymore. They wanted forever to be the victims. And that's not all of them. That's not all, okay? I'm generalizing. I'm broading brushing. Let's just broad the brush. I'm good at that, too. So, that's bad. So, June's shot, right? But okay, we got post-June and we got July, and I'm like, yeah. Because, of course, I live in the, what's it called? The epicenter of the have a gay day of this country, I think. On the south coast, somewhere on the south coast. So I have to endure a lot more than most when it comes to in your face what you have to be happy about, apparently, or celebrate with, right? So I'm just over the trauma of the month, right? Oh, thank God that's over. And then I'm driving home the other day, and I suddenly see a sign on the road, as you do, temporary sign, one of those yellow things, and it says Brighton Pride Parade Route. I thought, what the fuck? That wasn't there. I'm sure that wasn't there yesterday. I thought, please don't tell me that. What the fuck? Brighton Pride Parade? Brighton Pride? Wasn't that in June? Ah, son of a... And then as I'm going past the park, right, I've seen these people running, jogging in funny gear. I've seen a bloody unicorn, I've seen rainbow-dressed people, and I'm like, oh, they're jogging. And don't do this to me again. I mean, seriously, I got past it. I managed to avoid it, really, for pretty much. And now, like Groundhog Day. Like August, they've taken August. And so, of course, I dared to suggest, I said, it just so happens, right? I'm not going to go into any detail, more than I am. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? They've taken another month. How, what? So, it was just, I think yesterday, one of the daughters of a friend of mine, who has a boyfriend, was bemoaning the fact that they had a hangover. She had a hangover. I thought, that's unusual. Why do you have a hangover? She works in Brighton as a chef. And so on Saturday night, I guess, after work, they went to the Pride event. As you do as a straight couple, of course. I thought, what Pride event? Oh, what Pride? Oh, no, you know what? I played dumb on Saturday. I did play dumb on Saturday. It was fun. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. When something really gets to me, I have to be a bit sarcastic. And I am. I'm quite good at sarcasm. So anyway, I said, Brighton Pride on Saturday. I thought that was in June. I knew what they were going to say. I could write the script. I just wanted to. Yeah. Oh, no. No, they have it at different times, apparently at different times. So let me just say warning. I mean, I guess the whole entire country. Is it every month covered now? So I thought, oh, what the hell? And then actually on Saturday, I wasn't planning on doing all this, by the way. I had a lot to talk about. It wasn't anything of what I'm talking about now, but I've just got triggered. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to finish this one thing, and then I promise I'll get on with the show. But on Saturday, this past Saturday, I had my eyes, I got my new, have you noticed my beautiful new glasses? I mean, oh, I can see. It's just so wonderful. And of course, I went to the opticians to collect my glasses. And, what was it? They were having a conversation behind the counter. And I don't know, they were talking about some event going on in Brighton. I said, Is there something going on? They were talking about the traffic or something. And they said, is there something? Is there something? Oh, what's that? Nightfall. Oh, it's Pride. Pride. Looking very confused. I thought that was in June. Oh, no. No, it's different. It's this one's, they celebrated in August here. I thought, as you do. Oh my days. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for my story. So I'm a bit kind of pissed off at the world because everything keeps on repeating. None of the good stuff repeats, can I just say, right? None of the good stuff. I don't get any repetition of good stuff, happy stuff, clappy stuff. I get, Groundhog Day on the negativity. So anyway, that's it. That's it for the story. So now who wants to see the firmament? Because let's just change the subject because I haven't got to my topics yet tonight. So, to be honest, again, once upon a time, Ardrossan. Wait a minute. 20th century origin of Pride stuff was Ernst Röhm and his Stromanbestellung. Oh, you're in Scotland? Oh, no. Oh, the Isle of Arran. Oh, well done, you. Oh, Scotland is that? Oh, okay. Top of the... No, I was going to do Irish then, sorry. Oh, have a lovely time. Have a bonny time. Have a bonny wee time. Way in the pain. Oh, Quantum Respawn. I think I know what you're going to ask me. I see a red box in Foxhole. Anyway, Space Team, I'm getting close to bringing version 2.0 of my show back online to Foxhole and would love to have you as a special. I must. Could you put a link to your show? Because I haven't watched your content, and wouldn't that be fun? Would you like, those of you ladies and gentlemen, boys, Pill.net, not Pill.net. We have Quantum Respawn in Pill.net, who has a channel and would like to have me as a guest. Could you cope? I don't know if you could cope with me, Quantum Respawn. That might be a bit much. VY22 in Rumble says, I'm black, and even I agree. We've had enough of all the victimization nonsense. It's so amplified. Listen, it was all accelerated by Obama, I'm afraid, right? It's all by design, right? Divide and conquer. It's just it's so sad. It really is sad. It's sad. It is very, horrific what's going on with the crimes against white people that's going on, the increased violence, which, we've seen in South Africa. And again, it's obviously, I've seen some black YouTubers, they're fed up. Unfortunately, we do tend to clump people into identity groups. And unfortunately, an awful lot of social media has an awful lot of footage out there of people who are black committing quite horrific crimes. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. It's such a shame. And the problem is that with this whole colour issue, it doesn't matter how much one says that one is not racist. The problem is that a person who is not white may choose to never believe that is true, that is possible. Okay? But I absolutely swear on all that's holy that I noticed people's skin colour, but nothing in a negative way when I was young. In fact, when I first saw my first real life black, it was a child at my school. I came to my school, was a pupil at the school. it was like a thing of amazement. And I, I'm not saying curiosity in any kind of rude way at all. It was, I just never had seen anybody. I mean, this whole nonsense that people go about saying, "Oh, black we built America, migrants built England after the war." No, 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 no. There really weren't any of any note black people in this country. There just weren't. It just was not a thing. It was a white country. So and growing up, in my school years, I never had an issue. I was never felt superior to anybody. As I said, the issue that we have now is that, and I saw it in, I think I read it in Obama's autobiography. Oh, if you haven't read his autobiography, shocking, right? It is he's the most racist individual that could ever be, that I've ever known. And of course, what is stated, which you have no way of refuting properly, is that, of course, even if you have your best friend, literally is, your childhood friend is of a different skin color to you, you're the best of friends, and you were best of friends. Unfortunately, Obama said that what did he say? Oh, see, now I can't get it. He said that there was inherent racism in all white people, and that you could never trust them. You could never believe that they actually were genuine. And so no matter what. So you're on a lose-lose. If people, which they have now, they've convinced themselves that there's just a blanket racism with all white people against. I mean, it's actually, the evidence completely refutes that, right? If people were honest and true to themselves, and they looked at the evidence clearly states that is completely untrue. That white people are actually the opposite to racists. In fact, and I'm going to say, I discovered in my time, in the research I've done, the times that I found out that actually, I think the first thing I found out was the Indians and the caste system. When I found out about that, it was a long time ago. And that was my first knowledge of or awareness of there being a prejudice depending on your background in India. Now, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with skin color, or if it's just, financial, economic standing as far as the caste system goes. I haven't really looked at it. I forgot what I found out, actually. It was a long time ago. But the other thing I found out was that in Africa, again, there's racism of black people against other black people for the color, the darkness of their skin. So the darker the skin, the more prejudice there is against them by lighter skinned black people. I mean, it all sounds a bit, what can I say? I don't know what to tell you. But, what can you do? If there's racism of Chinese against black people, Chinese, they don't get along. They hate each other. In fact, the Chinese hate black people. And I think black people probably hate Chinese people. You know what I mean? It's like the amount of racism interracially is actually between all people who aren't actually white. The only ones who aren't are the white people. Just in general, okay, there's obviously racists who are white, of course, that goes without saying, and there's non-racists who are of color, the tone of their skin, and it's all just sad. It's all, the whole thing is sad, right? It really is. That this has increased, because I guess when I was young, it was when I first, I was probably in my, I don't know when it stopped, when I started noticing about this racism stuff, to be honest. But part of me thought that we were over it, and that everybody would just get on. God, that was so naive. Anyway, that said, we're going to take a look, completely different. I can't believe I've been talking for 40 minutes. Can you believe that? And I haven't even taken a sip of my coffee. Oh, here we go. So I've got quantum respawn. Wait a minute. I'm going to copy and I'm going to put quantum respawn's channel into Rumble and DLive, so everybody could go and follow Quantum Respawn, who is just absolutely ready more than ever for XRP to come through and for us to be stupid wealthy. Yeah, snap them. The 20th century Marxists used communism to attempt to destroy the West. When that failed, they brought in Islam. Well, actually, the communism thing succeeded. You know, it was the socialism, communism that has undermined America, really, the American way, since the, well, I would say, I mean, I don't know when it started, to be honest with me. It didn't start when I was a kid, but the mindset of a lot of people. I don't recognize America. Or let's say I don't recognize the Democrat states. Are just totally beyond my comprehension. The mindset of the left, I just cannot get my head around it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Wayne Payne's Firmament video, just to completely change it up, and then I'm going to go back to my topics of discussion. And see what people make of it. Okay, let's see what you think. All right, so here we go. Let's see if I've got it on the screen. Okay, I shall get you on screen, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on a second. Where am I? Here we go. All right, let's see this, and then we're going to get on to something completely different.
We released a rocket.
So I'm not sure, when was this? Wait, what is this? Oh. Well, it says TikTok says on July 25th. Hang on July 25th, we'll update our terms of service, business terms of service, rewards policy, coins policy, music terms of service, commercial music library, and branded content policy to comply with new laws. Reflect changes to our services and simplify other policies. Oh, who cares? Alright, that was just TikTok.
We released a rocket which is trying to get to the space, but apparently it ended up exposing the firmament to all the people around the world, because the rocket ends up hitting the firmament which is present above the earth, and it tries to penetrate through the firmament, and then it breaks, and you can basically see the water just splashing around, and that's basically what the firmament is made of. There's like massive water on the other side of the firmament, and as you can see, the rocket keeps going up and up ahead, and there's only a certain limit that the rocket can obviously reach, but then, you know, they keep lying to us about them reaching space or whatsoever. But I think it's all bullshit, because at the end of the day, the real truth is all present in here, right here, and that's one of the reasons. Now, as you can keep seeing the rocket, it's gonna reach like the level of the firmament, and it's going to just penetrate through it. And look at that. Right there, it starts reaching the level of firmament, and it starts splitting up. Look at that. It starts hitting the firmament right here. And right now, it splits up into two halves because it's broken. And this part, look at this part. It tries to penetrate through the firmament right here. It's trying to penetrate through it, but it just can't do it. It can't do it. Look at this stuff. It's still going. It's still trying to penetrate it. And boom, there we go. There we go. And then it blows up, and you can actually see the water basically scattering all around.
I'm not sure if that's, I mean,
and that happened.
I would say that's more like smoke. I mean, I don't see that as being water, to be honest. I think it's smoke. And again, I don't know if his description is accurate enough, but I remember there's also another video out there where it shows from the camera on a rocket. I don't know if it's that rocket where it just suddenly stops. Yeah, it's going up and up and up and up, and then it suddenly goes clunk and hits something. Yeah, no, it's, you know, let me tell you, once upon a time, I thought the notion of a dome of any kind over the Earth, I didn't think about it, of course, but if you think about, I guess, the ozone layer, and I guess I thought that there was some kind of, well, yeah, no, I knew it wasn't called a firmament, but in my mind, I thought that there was something that was holding our atmosphere in. Yeah, I just didn't think it through. So, anyway, good evening, Light Our Souls. How are you this evening? Based Amy, please send me a link to that rocket video. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I shall put that in Foxhole. Here we go. Now, by the way, I will go to what the topic is. Thank you for that, Wayne Napane. What did you think of it? Just by the way. Water above so below as you see when something heavy hits water and creates a splash. Watch the vice versa. Okay. I mean, to me, that seemed like more like smoke than water, but I mean, I do think I know there's a barrier up there. Right. Now, breaking news tonight. I am going to touch on it is, of course, Tommy Robinson being arrested, which Maya Tusi mentioned this. Somebody put it in a telegram about asking whether Tommy had been arrested. Now, I'm sure we know that, I think it was last week, that Tommy was in St. Pancras Station late at night by himself, which, to be honest with you, why was he by himself? And here we go. So Maya Tusi's covered it tonight. Been arrested. Everybody knows that there was a incident at St. Pancras apparently, and the police have made a big meal of it, and the media made a big meal out of it. They've got a bloody... What's this? What is this? A hospital? They've got a blooming curtain up. There wasn't a dead body. As far as I know, he didn't die. Yeah, it seemed like a guy came up. Who knows? Because we haven't seen the footage. The St. Pancras has CCTV footage. That looks like Tommy being arrested there. Is it? Let me just see if I can find the spot. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen it, right? We've seen where the guy was lying prone in the station. Here. All right. Who's the bloke with the rucksack? I want to know who the guy with this bag is here. Who's he giving directions to people? Why is he? Who is he? Has anybody found out who he is? Because he seemed to be behaving a bit oddly. Yeah, he's been arrested again. So I can't quite make out what that is over the guy's head. I mean, that just seems so weird. It's such a weird image. Now, what I'm going to say, we all know there's footage out there. It hasn't been released, but you can see, in fact, there's a camera right up there above the CCTV. So the people operating CCTV, they would have had the footage, and in any other situation, it would have been made public, right? But I have a feeling that the CCTV footage will exonerate Tommy. It will probably show this doofus coming up to him and being an asshole and being aggressive, and Tommy defending himself. You know, it's obvious. And I don't know when people are going to wake up in this country. It's still not woken up. They don't really know that the people in power, the people in uniform, the people in the courts, the people who are working, who've got control in this country, have an anathema. They are antagonistic. They don't like us. I haven't got the right words, but they don't like us. We are their enemy. So the media will portray this as Tommy. As far as I'm concerned, Tommy's trying to speak the truth. Has tried to speak the truth, and he's target. So
as you can see, that man, he's a huge man, was floored allegedly by Tommy. We're not really sure yet exactly. I mean, I believe Don Keith gave us some context shortly after what happened. Don Keith from the US mentioned that apparently that man was following Tommy around, and Tommy warned him about 5 times to leave him alone, and he kept harassing him, and he was going for him. That's what we've heard from Don and a couple of others. The investigation should now hopefully lead to access to the CCTV footage, which they should have. Of course, there are cameras all over the station, well, every station, every place in the UK anyway, unless the CCTV footage gets lost or something. There is a statement that we have now just received from the British Transport Police as well, saying the arrests made following assault. All right, officers from British Transport Police have tonight, the 4th of August, arrested the 42-year-old man from Bedfordshire in connection to an assault at St Pancras Station on the 28th of July. The arrest took place at Luton Airport shortly after 6:30 p.m. following a notification that the man had boarded an incoming flight. And of course, yeah, they did say that...
You know, they're all being like that on purpose. I mean, they would have said Tommy, right? Or Stephen Yaxley Lennon, as they always love to point out that his real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon. Tommy Robertson is his... Well, he created... As far as I know, he created that name to hide his identity because of the violence, the threats of violence against him back in the day. So he came up with a nom de plume or an alias so that it was harder for people to find more information about him. So anyway, you know, this whole vagueness, a man from Bedfordshire. What is this? So anyway, again, I'm only going to cover this for a little bit longer. Tommy has been arranging this massive event on the 13th of September in London to do with free speech, and he's got all kinds of people coming from all over the world to do big speeches, and it's apparently a happy clappy day and a happy family day, and well, no doubt that there was this that happened, and they want to try to stitch him up and send him back to prison, I guess. So of course, Ezra being Ezra, I mean, look, the thing I have a problem with is this reliance on legal teams, because of course they all work for the Crown. I don't have it. I just find it really tedious that they don't change the playbook our side, because, and of course it's all about raising money for the legal team, which, you know, people are a bit fed up with, understandably so. And now, of course, the media was all over this story with St Pancras and Tommy assaulting somebody. They didn't put it into any context, and Tommy had business abroad, and he notified the police at the time it happened, and they said, don't worry about it or whatever. He left and he turned himself in, or reported himself, right? He did. Now, apparently yesterday at Speaker's Corner, with all the peaceful people of the religion of peace, a young man who's become quite well known in this country. I think he's a twin. Was assaulted at Speaker's Corner violently, and nobody wants to know, and the police weren't anywhere to be found. So this is what Maya Tucci covered tonight.
The Christians who were there when the Islamists started to attack them.
So this guy here in the distance there is this young Christian bloke with the jean jacket on in the crowd, and he's going to get...
And then they kicked them. There we go. Now it's going to kick. There we go. Look. Kick.
I mean, it's just the height of just scum, right? The kid in the white hoodie stuff. So he gets shoved over. Who shoved him over? I just want. You know what? I'll take a look at this very closely to see who grabbed him and pulled him backwards, pushed him backwards. This guy here, I guess, with the glasses, the baldy. Looks like he's got his hand on him. Yeah. He's grinning and he's shoving him over.
And then they kicked him. There we go. Now it's
Right.
gonna kick.
And then we have a
we go.
disgusting piece of crap right in the what here? On the right hand side of the screen.
Look.
Kicking him here. Face nappy. Oh, I wonder where he's from. Does so, you
Kick.
know, and then vanishes. YouTube. Where's my new YouTube crew?
See there, sure? You see the double standards. That's one of my main issues, because there was a lack of reaction from both.
Hey, XRP. Wait a minute. Hang on. XRP bag holder, you're not in my. Wait. XRP bag holder. XRP cult member. What? Who's that?
The mainstream
In-
media.
Hi, on YouTube and Stephen West. Hello.
They didn't cover that.
Hit
What
the
happened to
thumbs
Bob?
up, baby.
And also, there was no reaction from the police. There were no police statements after what happened yesterday, saying we have found out about what happened in Hyde Park. We have launched an investigation. We are going to be, if any witnesses were there, get in touch with us because we're trying to question some suspects. No. But because, and both incidents, there was a video, both what happened with Tommy and with Bob. But because it was Tommy, then obviously, suddenly the police will have full resources. Now we'll find out exactly what will happen in terms of the legal position from Tommy's side. Obviously, he's going to go with self-defense and everything else. And whether we are going to get access to the full CCTV footage from the day to get the context. If you guys remember, obviously, when the...
Anyway, that's it, right? So, hopefully, we'll find out what happened with Tommy. I don't know. It looks like he was arrested. There's the image there.
Let's just double check because and okay, I'm looking at the way the Sun has been reporting this. By the way, I'm not going to show the actual article. If you want to go check out the Sun,
Off
you
the
can do it.
plane.
They're still saying EDL, the English Defence League, which hasn't actually existed in over 10 years. The EDL was the campaign group that Tommy set up when he was young,
Anyway.
about 20.
That's it, right? Never mind. I mean, I'm hoping Tommy's released and he has the event on the 13th of September and they don't send him back to prison. It's just, this country's a mess. And I'm going to go on to my topics back now, back to, obviously, Tommy was arrested. We've had protests aplenty this weekend, and I'm going to go to my website, okay, bassgamer.com. On today's show notes, I have included many clips, in fact, of what happened over the weekend. And this was obviously, I put Maya Tushi's video there just now. And as I'm sure many of you know, right, I'm sure many of you have heard about the protests going on in England. Of course, we've had people being put up in hotels in this country. Illegal migrants, right? Usual nonsense, fake news. Looks like there's a protest on the 8th of August, so in 4 days' time. Abolish asylum system, no masks, no alcohol, pure patriotism. No, that's a good one to call, no masks. End migrant musical chairs, locally led, peaceful protests. The system is unfit for purpose. Safety of women and children before foreigners. I don't like the fist in the air. That's an image of the BLM and all that crap. Unfortunately, that fist. Anyway, there's protests all over. Aldershot, Potter's Hotel, Altrincham, Chester Court, Altrincham, Birmingham, the Ramada by Wyndham, Bournemouth, Britannia. Oh, I see, sorry. Okay, I'm going to get this right now. I hadn't looked at it properly before. So, in Aldershot, this is on the 8th of August, which is next weekend. Right, this weekend. Aldershot at the Potters Hotel, Altrincham at the Cresta Court, in Birmingham at the outside the Ramada by Wyndham, Bournemouth outside the Britannia, or across from the Britannia, Chichester protesting the Park Hotel, Epping, of course, the Bell Hotel, the infamous Bell Hotel in Epping, Norwich, the Brook Hotel, Portsmouth, the Royal Beach, Southampton, Highfield House, and Wolverhampton, Britannia. And of course, these have been organised, that's just a handful. There are many, 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 unfortunately, other hotels in the country that have been used and are being used by the government of this country intentionally to place unvetted fighting age men, majority fighting age men, for nefarious reasons. It has nothing to do with asylum. It has nothing to do with escaping wars. It has nothing to do with retribution because of colonialism. Okay, all the nonsense. Definitely not fleeing for their safety, because of course all the people coming from on the boats or whatever have come from France. Right? So the numpties out there with the lefty lunatics, I just despise these people more than I can express, because they are complicit in the desire to completely destroy this country, and it's sickening. Now, I mean, I didn't see that video all the way through. Somebody's AI'd Keir Starmer at the hotel in London. Oh, that's disgusting. That's not fun. I don't like it. And now, just so you know, that there are many reasons for these protests, besides the fact that it's because people are not feeling safe. There have been many cases and many, some criminal, convictions for horrendous attacks, assaults on women and girls and men and boys in England. So, what was I saying? So over the weekend and continuing, there's been protests outside Epping. They alleged at the Bell Hotel that some of the people were sent to London, to the hotel in London, to the Barbican, which is it costs apparently £400 a night or something. I mean, that's ridiculous. It used to cost £400 a night for a hotel room there. And what I'd like to say, in my experience, I just want to remind everybody that I have had many, many, many experiences of police activity for protests in this country. I've been on the ground, been physically assaulted by the police. I've witnessed the acting. I've witnessed the clashes. And what I have to try and get across is that the clashes, the so-called clashes, are initiated 99.9% of the time by undercover police and the paid-for lefty lunatic, paid-for protesters, students who've been co-opted for the day or hired for the day, right? The so-called clashes are instigated by the police. Okay? And the media, you'll see every time there's something going on, you've got lots and lots of fake stream media photographers snip it away at them. And I'm going to show you this footage, right? This is the one outside of it. And I want you to see, I mean, with that poster that said no masks, right? What I would like everybody in this country to do, who's genuinely concerned and attends these protests, is please challenge anybody who's wearing a mask. Because nobody who wants to protect their identity should be attending these things, right? If they don't want to be on camera. So, knowing that you're going to be on camera, you don't want to be on camera, just don't go. Don't wear a mask or a hoodie or anything else. Because I guarantee you that all of the trouble you will see in all of these events are carried out by people who are wearing hoodies, black hoodies or masks, and covering their identity. And people should challenge them and say, excuse me, who are you? Why are you covering your face? Uncover it. We don't do that. Because look at this doofus right here, the purple with the khaki hat and the whole face covered with the man bags. Watch. So what happens is the police overreact, right? They have the riot police for the peaceful protesters, and they have the normally dressed police in normal uniform for the lefty lunatics and the lefties. And what they do, the fake media does, the police will drive down the road with their sirens blaring, not actually going to anything in particular, but it's good for the cameras. There's no emergency. Just for the cameras. And then, sorry. I saw this myself. These goons, and they're all wearing stab vests because of what happened in Ireland the other day with the Garda who got stabbed in the street, which the video is on my website. But they like to do this as well with the running. Not only the cars driving for the snap to make it look dramatic and have it look like there's trouble, but they also have the police just randomly just run down the road and then they come to a stop. But the photographers have been able to capture them running for the drama and for the narrative. Right? I'm going to show you this. This is a great example. It's absolutely evidence beyond any shadow of doubt. You can see that group of police who were running have come to a stop at the end of this building. There's no trouble, right? They're all running down the road, right? All running down the road. Run, 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 run. I don't know what that was. Did Michael Jackson call as he went past? I don't know. Jogging, right? Then they come to a stop, and then we've got this lot on this side, right? So we have, and I want you to see this. So I'm gonna set the scene. So you see the building, very distinctive building, brown brick building. You have a sign up there at the front of this building saying there's something, the burner or something. You've got the police van facing the other way, okay? So remember this scene, and now you have a policewoman with her little crew, and they're going to jog down the road. Right, so they come. They turn around and run the other way, right? But to the camera, you're just seeing all these police running back, you know, so there's all these police, they're all running, there must be something terrible. But they've literally, for the camera's sake, to make it look dramatic, they all stopped at the end of the road, and now they're turning around to jog back again. These ones, see, here's a camera here, right, here's a camera there, taking video footage, right there, look at that. Look at that nice setup there, showing all operations. And then you see this copper here say, right, everybody, let's go back. Right, he's waving, go back. Right, go back. She's coming back again with her little crew. It's disgusting. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's just outrageous, okay? It's outrageous. And they're just jogging up the road, and they're going to stop. And then, again, I want you, I mean, the thing is that this bloke is wearing his khaki hat with the purple top and the black face covering. And what we have here is the shovey crew, right? The clashing shovey crew of the rugby, of the Antifa, and of course it was Antifa, by the way. It wasn't the peaceful people who were clashing, but of course the media won't differentiate that it was actually the lefties who were clashing with the police. And so what you see is this little scrum of two sides, and they're going to be doing a lot of movement. So just see that nobody gets arrested, nobody gets taken out. They're all just doing a lot of movement and gathering, and you see all the cameras, and it's just this little clump in the middle, right? Right? Okay. He's just like a bubble. You know the bubble heads where they just kind of bounce around and just get shoved here and shoved there. It's literally like a mosh pit, but standing. So here he is, right? Watch him. He's like in the washing machine. You see how he goes, right? Well, watch him move. Here he is. He's going to come in, and you've just got literally a small group of people, but they've made a big commotion, and that's what went around all the media. So here he comes. Here's our khaki man, right? He was back here, right? Watch him coming in. And this is here. These guys are just all shoving together as well. There's nobody behind them. See these guys? The ones here, this side, they're just watching. So there's literally probably about 15 people and the police, and they're just shifting each other about the place to make it look like some terrible clash. Here he comes in from the left here, right? Here he comes. He's coming in. Now he's trying to grab this person, do a tag team. Then we've got this whole group of police covered round from the back. And he's just going to be Mr. Bob bouncing around now. Watch, he goes in there. Now he's there. And he's just standing. And then he's just going to get pushed away. And you'll see, and the police, right? They push each other, they pull each other, they do the push me, pull you. And it's just all shouting, move back, move back, move back. Nobody's doing anything. It's disgusting, deception, scumbags, all of them, and nobody pulls them up on it. By the way, I think I saw a little bit of an assault going on here. Okay? What I want you to look at, which looks a little bit dodgy, and I can't tell, I think it's a man, but see this lilac? Can you see what I'm talking about here? Let me just see. So we have, oh, I might be in the way here. Wait a minute. Let me just go back again. You know, it's just, I find this fascinating to watch the whole thing, you know? Watching, trying to spot the scumbags. And you see all the cameras. Look, this guy here with his blue cap, he's a fake stream media reporter. He's getting that snapshot from above, looking down of the clashes. I just wish people would not only call out the police for their skullduggery and their deception, but also, of course, the fake stream media, because they are scum of the earth. They're evil, because they intentionally lie and deceive. So he's taken the dramatic picture of this crew all mushing together. So what I want to show you actually is the person in the lilac with the khaki baseball cap, right? Now watch this. This is quite interesting. So, and put a 1 if you can see what I'm saying, right? So here we have, again, the baseball cap. It's interesting, the color is khaki and the top is lilac, right? So we have this little mosh pit going on. And then you have what looks like a Muslim policeman, okay? You know, looks Muslim by the beard and the appearance. Okay, so we're going to watch what happens with his arm, his right arm. Right? So he's, first of all, he's pushing this person in the back. He's not actually doing anything, right? Other than pushing him for no reason. Right, so he's pushing the back, and then watch. Then he puts his arm down and around this person's waist. And this person does not feel comfortable with that at all. and he I think it's he grabs the arm and pulls it off him. Watch. Now one would have to ask, what was that about? Why did he have his arm around that person? And that looked a little bit dodge, and they said, "Don't get off me." Anyway, if it was a real situation where the police would try to deal with these people, he would have pulled him back with his arm and arrested him, but no. Anyway, odd little things I noticed, little nuances, but you've literally got a group with all of them masked or covered with their hair covered, head covered, black mask, everything, this little crew, and then there with the City of London police all playing shovey, and all the cameras everywhere around snapping the shots to go around the fake stream media around the world to show clashes with the police against, that's the story, the headline, which is just sick, because of course the people who are protesting peacefully none of this was going on, but that's not how people would see it around the world. They just see this. And then, of course, as suddenly as it starts and it's all tension, and then that's it. They've had enough. Okay, right. Got the shots, guys. Everybody stand down, and scene's over. Right? What happened? And just so you know, these people were just standing there. They did have nothing to do with the protest, counter-protest. They were all just standing in a group in this area. You know, but I say, the fake stream media played on it. Look. See, you've got the fake stream photographer here. You've got the snappy. All these, see where the photographers are. I mean, I have a particular loathing for these scum of the earth, because it's they who propagate the lies. And here's another one here. Now, of course, if this was a violent situation, then these photographers would not be that close. They would be kind of taking pictures from further away. But no, and the reason why they're that close is because they know they're going to be fine. They're not doing anything. They're just scrubbing up together, and then they're all just going to break away. You see it? I mean, do you see? But when you see, right, when you see the reports from, is it this one? Yeah, here's the Mirror, right? This is the Mirror's report here.
Can you move back, please?
I mean, that was all so violent, and he kind of pushed him out the way, and then he's standing there. They don't say anything to each other. Like, okay, that was a bit rough. That was a bit unnecessary, but it looks good for the cameras, right? For him to just grab that bloke and pull him out. Right, watch. He just pulls him out and shoves him. Then what? Looks like they're going to kiss. It is a pantomime. Anyway, you know, it's all pathetic. And again, near the hotel, see the people who caused the problem? You've got the hoods, the caps. Every time there's any kind of interaction or clashing or you're going to see these people wearing that gear because they're undercover and they're paid or whatever to portray genuinely concerned people as bad and thugs. And that's what makes me sick. Right? You know, so protecting women and children isn't far right, it's just right. So you got the photographers here, you got the guys with the hoods on, and that's where trouble was. And guess where the police are going to appear? Right, here is that little clump of people. And in come the police, running in. And again. Snap, 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 snap. There's the cameras there, taking the snap. I said, it makes me, I don't go to these things right now because it's all a stage. It's all a setup. It's just a setup. It's a setup. The police are complicit in the conspiracy against the people. The government is, the media is, the police are, and the courts are. And it is just truly sickening to me, right? So I've got a lot of clips on my website showing you, and take your time to watch the acting, and also what happened at the Barbican. I mean, this is ironic. Okay, this happened. I don't know who was there, but watch this.
Okay. Right. There's a section 42. Right? Section 42 in place of the 2001. You're causing distress or harm to the resident of this hotel. Yeah. You have to leave now and not return within 28 days to this area. If you don't, you will be arrested.
So the people outside the Barbican, a group of people outside the Barbican Hotel, were suddenly issued with a Section 14 dispersal order, not allowed to return to protest outside the hotel filled with illegal migrants for 28 days. And look at the person who's delivering that message. I think he might have been one of the residents. They gave a uniform to him and said, hello, let's have a bit of a laugh, shall we? Let's just put him in a uniform and give him the script. Get him to go tell them they're not allowed to protest for 20. I mean,
Okay?
So you're telling me that we're not allowed to come back and protest
For 28 days because you're causing distress or harm to the resident of this hotel.
Is there anything?
If you don't comply with that, you will be arrested. So you need to clear out the place.
How long do I get? How long do I have?
You need to move. Right? We don't want to, we need to clear off. No, you need to clear off.
he's trying to sound as English as possible, and he's just failing miserably. He's either French with an English accent, he's certainly not English as a policeman, and he just can't wait to deliver this news. Now, as I said, I didn't see the lead up to this. I've only seen this clip of him delivering it and saying that they can't protest. Now, the news went out that nobody was allowed to protest there for 28 days, right? That was the claim, that was the headline, but the Metropolitan Police made sure they put a post out saying, we have not banned protests outside the Britannia International Hotel. We continue to encourage those exercising their lawful right to protest to do so responsibly. Anyone who crosses the line from lawful protest into criminality can expect to face police action. It said officers policed a protest for a considerable time today, but a group remained who were harassing occupants of the hotel and staff, trying to prevent people accessing the hotel to make deliveries and make concerted efforts to breach the fencing and access the hotel. Their actions went well beyond protest to harassment, and we used powers under the Criminal Justice and Police Act 2001 to order that specific group, to leave and not return for 28 days. If a different group wishes to protest in the vicinity of the hotel, they are not banned from doing so, provided they do so lawfully. Now, I didn't know there was a 28-day pot. It's usually 24 hours or 48 hours, and it usually has to be of course, it has to be issued by, well, a chief superintendent of the yard. But no, they just say it. They don't care. They don't care. You know, none of this is lawful, right? There's stupid banning of people protesting. And of course, it's because it's those on our side who's protesting. That's what they're doing it for. So, and here's a story from the other day that 2 Afghan asylum seekers have been charged with rape, kidnap, and strangulation of a 12-year-old white girl in Nuneaton. Police told the council to keep it quiet. Illegal boat migrant Ahmad Mulakil, 23, has been charged with rape. And then, you know, okay, so let's see. 23 has been charged with rape of the underage girl in Nuneaton, Warwickshire. A second man, Mohammed Kabir, also 23, has been charged with aiding and abetting rape as well as strangulation and kidnap of the girl. Warwickshire Police advised local councillors and officials not to reveal the asylum seeker background of the 2 suspects for fear of inflaming community tensions. Warwickshire Police defended its position, saying in a statement, "Where relevant, sensitive information around locations, details of the crime and policing activity to catch offenders can be shared, with a warning that this is a sensitive or confidential information and disclosure by those being briefed could affect future court hearings." Mulakil, who crossed the channel on a small boat, allegedly raped the victim in the Cheverell Street of Nuneaton between 8:30 and 9:45 on Tuesday, 22nd of July. That was like a week and a half ago. CCTV footage from a resident's house near Cheverell Road, which appears to show a man walking with the girl who is white. The girl was white. The chilling footage was captured as the pair walked past the property at 8 p.m, around half an hour before the victim was allegedly subjected to the horrific assault. Warwickshire Police said Mulakil was arrested 4 days after the incident last Saturday and charged the following day. He appeared before Coventry Magistrates Court on Monday, charged with 2 counts of rape. I don't need to go. Why did they have to give that detail? I mean, that's disgusting. Who puts that I'm pissed off now. I hadn't read that. What other rape is there? What is this? He appeared before magistrates. I was remanded in custody till August 26th. Last night, councillors from the Tory party, as well as Labour and Reform, which controls Warwickshire County Council, said they did not know much about the incident despite the huge interest. They blamed the police for not sharing any information with them. So, look, this country's lost, okay? We've lost. England is lost. It's officially lost. I mean, people are protesting. But the thing is that people don't understand is that they are considered the problem. The people of this country are considered to be the root of the problem. And this happened in Manchester, this protest with Britain First.
This cannot be stopped.
Right, Britain First did a huge protest, which was very impressive, of course. I did attend their protest back in 2017 in Telford. And that was where I got hit with a brick by a lefty.
This is going to be so bad, bro. Statement. I said in a... I know you guys don't...
So this was obviously the flags. So this is a Britain First thing. Is the they like having everybody at the marches waving Union flags and England flags, right? And of course, are very peaceful. So anyway,
that's what I think will happen.
Hang on, I don't know who this guy is.
What the fuck is going on?
So more than 90 criminal charges are brought against 41 migrants living in one taxpayer-funded hotel. Look, this is all being orchestrated. They are bringing people in who have no business being here, of a completely different culture, and you know, it's all by design to create chaos. I mean, it cannot be any more blatantly obvious, and they are trying to stoke the flames because, you know, it's so twisted, it's so sick, it's beyond the pale. And you know, it's so frustrating to me, having been a witness to this, having been I have been, obviously, you know, my treatment, some of you will know, my ridiculous, outrageously treatment by the state because of, you know, telling somebody to have a good day and calling a traitor, going to prison, right? So, you know, and many times being arrested for protesting a protest, for being outside, you know, during the lockdowns when I was apparently not supposed to be. So I have been through the absolute farce that is the English so-called judicial system, and there's nothing involving justice about it. We are considered the enemy, and you know how many people don't get it? So many people are still think that we need to be nice to the police. Oh, don't be horrible to the police based, Amy. They're only doing their job. I mean, it's like, oh, shut up. It's so awful. The cognitive dissonance is at a level that I never thought possible in a country where there are apparently cogent and, you know, cognitive people. But to this day, the 4th of August, where the police are in your face against you, it's like the Stockholm syndrome. I don't know what it is, but it's just so many things. And of course, you know, Nigel Farage is sounding the right sounds and uttering the right words, but he won't say enough, right? He goes so far and then he stops. So, you know, it's just sickening, right? And in Canada, Niagara Falls apparently filled with the illegals. Niagara Falls, the hotels, it's all by design. You know, the thing is that the people in power who are who are demonically controlled, they had actually probably expected people to be more outraged sooner. I don't think they realize just how tolerant everybody is in this country, naturally. And they probably can't believe how much they have to do. They're probably asking themselves, well, like they did during the COVID pandemic, what more do we have to do? I mean, to get these people in. And of course, the Gaza thing, you know, that's my pet peeve. I'm so pissed off about the Gaza story. It's a con like many others, actually. The Gaza, the starvation is a nonsense. They're not starving. They've had millions of meals. It's Hamas who's the problem. They're a terrorist organization. Hamas who gives the health reports. Hamas who gives the status reports. It's a bit like an arsonist giving a report about the post-fire report of the house he's just set on fire. And obviously just completely saying that the house is fine. You know what? That's what a house is supposed to look like. What are you talking about? Yeah, rubble. That's normal. I mean, it's probably not the best example, but you know, it's proven on my website. You've got this guy who's got a channel, and you know they've been using, you know, there's child abuse going on, and it's the Muslims who are abusing the children. They're showing children, displaying children who have other conditions, has nothing to do with starvation, and they're portraying them as though they're being starved by big bad Israel. And it's funny how the parents aren't starving, right? Because one would have to ask, why are you letting your child starve? You seem to be okay if they are really starving. Some of them are probably starving their children because, remember, again, if you don't know the mindset of Islam and Muslims, unfortunately it's very, very cold-blooded as a rule for the Sharia. And there is no consideration for people's feelings. It's all about the community, the ummah. You know, you're not an individual, you're in a cult, and it's about the general cult. So and all the kids, everybody's considered a martyr for the cause of Islam. I mean, it's that bad. This is where we are in today's world in 2025. So the deception, as with the police in this country, I mean, what is it with people? I don't know why people choose to believe what they, you know, some things are uncomfortable to believe, but they'd rather believe a lie than understand that they've been deceived and had their good nature abused. I don't get it. But the evidence is clear that the Islam, unfortunately, is a very demonic and death cult, and it's, you know, the facts are there in Sharia, in the Hadith, in Muhammad's history. Muhammad married a 6-year-old and raped her at 9. Hence why you have all these people who are Muslim, well, they're all Muslim. The ones that we hear about with these children and the boys and everybody gets raped, the majority of these people are Muslim. It doesn't matter Pakistan, it doesn't matter where, if they're Muslim, they're Muslim. And in their heads, they don't, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing because Muhammad did it, they're prophet. Do you understand? It's a part of their culture. We are garbage in the minds of the certain, and not all Muslims think that way, okay? But they're supposed to, if they're true Muslims. It's just fact. It's harsh and it's disgusting and it's sad and it's terrible. But it really is that bad. So these people are, this child, it's not from starvation because the stomach would be bloated, by the way. You know, I mean, I've seen the images, right? So this child has got something else wrong with it, sadly, and the parents utilize it. This is what you would see as the adults being starved, you know, would be skinny as well as the children. It's not just the children.
Like skin and bones. But no, just one child, one photo, repeated everywhere. Proof 2. It is always kids. Only kids. Where are the starving men and women?
So this is on my website for you to watch, right? It's a Jewish guy who talks about it, right? And this woman is very ungrateful for this, apparently the food that she got. It's how dare you. They're not grateful, right? They expect everything. They hate us. Whatever they get, they should have. They deserve more. Nothing's ever enough. They're never happy. It is what it is, right? They're users and abusers, and it's just disgusting. And the fact that so many are going out of their way to, I mean, they wouldn't spit on you if you're on fire. In fact, they'd probably add fuel to the flame if you were on fire. I mean, you know, it's that bad. And I just have more regard, you know, for me and people who care than people who I wouldn't. I say I can't stand them. I hate evil. And of course, these children they're mind controlled and they're brainwashed into doing what the parents say. They probably get punished if they don't. So yeah, the abuse is coming from the parents and Hamas, right? So it's a horrible state of affairs. It really is. There's a video on there of a poor young man hostage from 23, sorry, when the horrible October 7th happened. This poor young man, that's what he was like before. He was a hostage, now he's skin and bones, and there's another young man. This is why Gaza is, you know, the IDF are in Gaza is to try and find these people, because they're all being hidden amongst the civilian population, and they refuse to give them up. If they release these people and their dead bodies, then everything would stop, and Hamas put down their arms, then it would be over. It's not that hard. Okay, now, shall I get on to some good news? You know, I wasn't going to do a show tonight, and it's almost 20 to 11, and I haven't got to the good bit yet. So this is a great clip of Donald Trump's swing. Amazing shot he hit here. You just won't believe how this turned out. Now for something completely different.
Go home. Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy.
In the affirmative.
Go home. Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy.
Now, of course, Pocahontas, I think she thought she was going to lean up against this desk or that desk, and she somehow managed to get the thing in the middle, which wasn't a desk, and she leant back. It could have happened to a nice show. Ugh.
Oh, bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to...
That was good. I couldn't help it. All right, so there you go. That sort of breaks the tension, doesn't it? Now XRP, baby. Should we see how XRP is doing today? We've had a little bit of a recovery. And Impeachy Moore says, Amy, it sounds like to me your government is bringing patriotic-minded people to heel so they will accept the jihad. What illness makes the child so skeletal? You have to listen to. You have to listen to. I mean, they will be starving the child. You know, I mean, that's how bad it is. Certainly not the Israelis doing it, just so you know. The Israelis are providing food. They really are. It's Hamas who's not giving it out. I mean, come on. You've seen all the trucks out there. Where is it? Was it this one? No, it was this one. Let me see if he says what it is.
Actually mass starvation, repeated everywhere. Proof 2. It is always kids.
Well, who does that with their child? Look at the state of the mother. If that's the, you know, she's well fed. Why is this child starving? Why is the parent not feeding the child if this is from starvation? I don't know what illness would do that, but they do. They have children with cystic fibrosis, right, and other. I'm not going to go into the physiology and who marries who over there and what happens, but
only kids. Where are the starving men and women? If there was actually mass starvation, we would see people of all ages wasting away. But no, always just a child, over and over. Take this widely spread image of a skinny boy. Now look at his mom sitting next to him. She is clearly not starving. Gazans are using photos of children with genetic diseases to accuse Israel of starvation.
Isn't it weird that the people holding the babies are all obese and not skinny? How come you have enough food to eat, but your children don't? Are you...
Okay, I mean, that's true. If the parents were skinny as well, then that would be one thing. Now, come on, guys. Just wait, please. You got to snap out of this idea that the Israelis would be starving. It doesn't make sense, right? Because what they would do is they wouldn't send any food. I mean, it's a bit weird. And I would suggest, right, this is what I would say. Until they bring the hostages, until they release the hostages, nothing goes across that border. You'll soon find these people finding somewhere else to go, right? But they're feeding Hamas. Hamas is taking the food. I mean, there's enough stories out there for you to do your own research. You know, look at the different sources of information. It's not from the usual ones, and you'll find the footage yourself. You'll find the evidence yourself, if you want to see it, that is. Okay? Because there's a lot of people who have cognitive dissonance and just choose not to believe it. Anyway, I'm going on to the good news now, right? So, let's get to the good stuff. I'm going to go now. You know, it's my opinion, my feelings. I'm very well versed in this, the whole mentality. I have spent years studying, researching, and viewing and doing it. So I am absolutely convinced I am correct, and nobody has been able to challenge my information because it's all based on their own facts. So I'm going to go to CoinMarketCap now and see how XRP is doing right now. Good, oh good, it's getting back up. We're at 307 again, not overly exciting. Quantum Respawn, I don't know what to tell you, it's 307. But I must play a soundbite for you. Okay? Got to listen. Please listen to this very carefully. And of course, I'm just talking about XRP. I'm not talking about all of the other ISO 20022 tokens. I'm not talking about all kinds of other utility tokens that are out there. I'm obviously just focusing on this one. And I want you to hear... Hang on. I want you to hear... let's see where he plays it back here. I mean, it's just quite an incredible soundbite. Hang on.
Afraid of XRP. Well, 589 put together a great thread. XRP is a scam. Ripple execs just dump on retail. That's the genius take I see every day. Let's walk through.
Oh, no. Sorry, it's not his. Actually, this is... I'll grab this video and put it in if you want to see it on my website. Have I got it open? Is this it? Alright, yeah, I think... Yeah, I can... No, I can't. Hang on. I think I may be able... No. I'll add it to my website, that one. But the one actually... Sorry, my apologies. It's not his that does the soundbite. It is one of my favorites. Okay, this is incredible. I mean, as I say, it's mind-blowing, right? It is absolutely mind-blowing what we're in. And I want to reiterate to people out there, you have to ask. You know, I mean, this is what's so bizarre. We're talking about something that we have access to today, we've had access to for 7 years as just individuals, right? This is not the government telling us to get it. This is not any big thing. It's not behind some hidden veil. It's not going to be issued out to us. We, as individuals, have been able to get it if we wanted to. Okay? The fact that the majority of people have chosen not to, is down to you. It's not some nefarious, plot for 2030. The bloody thing is out, available on the market, and has been for more than 7 years. Obviously, it's been around for almost 12 years. So,
Central banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin.
Wait.
The money center banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's digital payment systems.
I think if we do get like the Sol ETF, which I think is next, and then XRP ETF or right after that.
It's not just a regular payment platform or regular payment network. It's an internet.
You know, I will predict Bitcoin. I wouldn't predict XRP. It's too close to home.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I'll be getting plenty.
Hello, Tangarao. Hiya.
They want all of them empty. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock news. Good glitches with XRP currently back on the rise above $3. Currently right around $3.04. XRP is broken the downtrend. We got around 83 days left in this speculative BTC cycle. Be on the lookout for a nice green candle loading for August. XAIF Crypto Ripple now ranks among the top 25 most valuable private companies in the world with a 15 billion plus valuation per CB. Insights 23 on the list, right behind the giants. Riz XRP waiting patiently.
I do think if we do get like the Sol ETF, which I think is next, and then XRP ETF or right after that, and then we may get like a few more this year, but I think at a minimum we get these two.
Actually, not this bit. Okay, you can watch this if you like. But the thing that's really got me, I like that thumbnail. Building blocks of modern wealth. Oh, I'm gonna have to find that thumbnail. X Finance Bull. I'm gonna grab that because that's beautiful. Building blocks of modern wealth. You got XRP, XDC, Hedera Hashgraph, XLM. Gold, XRP, XDC, silver, HBAR, copper, XLM, platinum. Sorry. I mean, honestly, when you have this to look at and to think about and to work on, I wish I could spend less time on the nonsense that is just being dished out to us. But anyway, I want to get to what this guy's. What is it? Him? Yeah. He says some really amazing stuff. Hold on.
They don't want you to see this. XRP is gold, HBAR is platinum, XTC copper, XLM silver. You're not looking at metal. You're looking at a weaponized currency strategy. The blueprint for generational wealth is right here. Are you loading up? Apex Crypto XRP is poised to capture the value of the entire internet. Forget trillions in payments. What about owning a piece of the internet value itself? What would that be worth?
Today I want to talk to you about the value of XRP from a standpoint of XRP capturing the value of an internet. It's not just a regular payment platform or regular payment network. It's an internet. It's called the Internet of Value. And we talk a lot about the potential value of XRP based on the fact that it's going to move trillions and trillions of dollars. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about it or talk about the potential value of XRP based on the fact that it's capturing the value of an internet, being again the Internet of Value. So we have to think.
I'm not sure why he's calling it an internet instead of finternet, which is the financial internet. I don't know why he's calling it an internet.
But what is the value of the internet we have today, which is the Internet of Information, the World Wide Web? What is the value of it? If you had a token that was capturing the value of that internet, the value of all the data that was moving through that protocol, what would that token be worth?
Payments, the Internet of Value, and it's not the Bitcoins of the world.
I love the idea of innovation. The money center banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's digital payment systems. That's the potential. That's the amazing opportunity we have here. Now, the reason that will be important and why we'll get price appreciation on Bitcoin is the minute that happens, it will signal the move to the next act, the Market Infrastructure Act. And why that matters to everybody in this room is we will finally determine, is Bitcoin a commodity or a security? And when that is determined and regulated, Katie bar the doors, $1 trillion will come and index that asset. Let's all hope that happens while we're all alive here.
Meanwhile, Ripple Swell meet the speakers. Big Brad Garland House. We got NASDAQ Chair and CEO Franklin Templeton. Monica Long, President. Carolyn Weinberg, Chief Product Innovation Officer, BNY. Ryan Rugg, Global Head of Digital Assets, Treasury and Trade Solutions, Citi. Maxwell Stein, Director, Digital Assets, BlackRock. Cynthia Lowe Bassett, Head of Fidelity, Digital Asset Manager, Fidelity. Michael Higgins, Global Head of Business Development, Hidden Road. Giovanni, Global Head of the Cryptocurrency Product, CME Group. Stu Alderati, Chief Legal Officer, Ripple. Evie, Managing Director and Head of Digital Assets, Institutional Banking Group, DBS Bank. Jeremy Smart, Global Head of Distribution, XTX Markets. Ashish Barilla, FinTech Investor and Board Member of Ripple, Rails Crypto, plus others. Jack McDonald, Senior Vice President, Stablecoin Ripple. Nigel, Vice President, Trading and Markets at Ripple Bank.
Okay, so that's XRP bags. I'm gonna I grabbed that thumbnail. I'm gonna keep it. I love that thumbnail because it just looks very pretty. Boom. It's kind of lost its quality, but that's from XRP Bags on YouTube tonight. His last show. I do have an issue with listening to that sound, that music that he has playing in the background because it just is very. It's too loud for me, but you know that's me. Now, well, who put out there? That was just so you know. I am going to say, which Shane Bacon, thank you for this. Put a link out about the Gateway Pundit saying Pam Bondi's ordered a federal prosecutor to present evidence to the grand jury to do with Russia collusion hoax. Now, again, I'm going to say it again. To be honest with you, I'm not going to cover it, okay? The only time I may talk about it is if somebody like Obama, Biden, Clinton, whatever, all that lot have been arrested and they're on trial. Because there's no need for a grand jury for the Russia hoax. You know, it was all played out back in 2000 and whatever. It's been 17, 18, 19, 20. So I just can't get excited about it. I feel like they're just taking a piss, to be honest, with this whole grand jury. I've heard this before. Anyway, XRP, baby. I'm over the Groundhog Day. I'm just not, I say, I'm sure most of us, I would suggest that if you've been watching the content, my shows, I've probably let it be known just how much I mean, I was excited at the time it was going on, but anyway, I can see that I'm getting a little bit fatigued. It's been a long day. My apologies for that stifled yawn. I'm not bored at all. I'm just fatigued. And, you know, I'm going to say, of course, that the whole XRP, the crypto, I genuinely was praying that this would all we'd have mooned by now, and that we were going to be able to make a change, a big change. It's like, this is a bit like Chinese water torture, right? I had hoped that the Genius Act, I thought that the Clarity Act and the Anti-CBDC Act and whatever else was going to all be sort of put together and all go through all at the same time, right? But it didn't. We had the Genius Act, which is huge for the stablecoin, which is big for Ripple, which is big for XRP, and the documents that were produced on just at the end of last week on Wednesday and Thursday, 30th and the 31st. That's on, again, if you look at my basedab.com homepage. Okay, I can put it in here actually. Let me just put that video link for XRP bags for tonight's show there. Oh no, that's the sorry, that's not the link for the show. That's that image. I just think I like these kind of thumbnails. I'll grab the link to this and I'll put it on my website just so you can have it at. No, that's not it. My apologies. Which one was it? That one. I'll put XRP bags one there and save. So that will be, if you go to my website basedab.com, very easy to remember. All of this information, that the XRP stuff is all right at the very bottom. I've just added it to the end. So I recommend watching it if you want some positive information for the future of financial freedom coming up. Then take a look at that. And USA Today. I mean, how bizarre is this? Never did I think I'd see the day when USA Today said, in actual fact, that if XRP is the smartest cryptocurrency to buy with $500 right now. Now, of course, not many people are listening. To be fair, because that was posted, in fact, yesterday. And, I mean, yeah, XRP's picked up. It was, well, we'll see what it was as it happens. It has bumped up a little bit since the last couple of days. So we see day. I mean, it was down to 291. So, it's recovered. So I guess maybe some people have invested in it. It did kind of take quite the dip. Oh, the whole market dipped, right? There's all kinds of liquidations going on, and obviously the geopolitical news with the tariffs kicking in, and this whole play in the market has an impact. It dips and then it comes back, and it's coming back, and it is going to go at some point. It's going to go. I don't know when. It can't happen soon enough for me. But I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. It is now almost 11 o'clock, and I really hadn't planned to be on this long. I hope that you've enjoyed tonight, and ask that you please do hit the thumbs up. And Pilot Mike said, leading Islamic scholar says Mo never was a real person. Of course he wasn't. He's a fiction, because no real person could ever live for as long as he did or do what he did without somebody knocking him off before he did go. I mean, as it is, the story is just really, really bad. I mean, you have to take all of the worst character traits that a man could have and put it into one, and then tell all these people to say people to follow him and to emulate. It's really sad. But it's demonic, right? We've got the demonic world in control. But also, let me reference you. I say, if you're feeling blue, go to my basedab.com, and for the other day, I say it was only, gosh, I mean, it's the 4th already. I can't believe it. I mean, I posted this 5 days ago. It only seems like a couple of days ago. I don't know what's going on with the time. But, I put the important links for crypto space. I do plan to read through some of this report for the PDF is on my website. Strengthening mega leadership in digital financial technology. And of course, I know the dark side with the whole AI and the whole control and the digital ID and all that stuff. I do know. But I can tell you that with the XRP stuff, with this digital decentralized finance, be your own bank. Be our own bank. And so they won't be able to control us. I don't think so. All right. Also, just so you know, the other thing that I have, which may be of interest to you, and I am going to read it myself, I haven't even finished reading it, was the Palantir Canon. And I must, okay, note to self, after the show tonight, I'm going to update this Palantir Canon, the mirror that captures the machine. I'm going to include part 8, and I am actually going to read through it, because I'm afraid I have to fire myself. I was intending to read this very, very long writings concerning the Palantir Canon and how it's, the Palantir whole operation has been flipped on its lid. But I just keep failing. I just don't get around to it, and I run out of time. So, time go round. I'll be back. Pilot Mike, what's 500k? What's 500k, baby? I don't know what that means. What are you saying? All right. On that note, I'm going to hand over to Hat.
Indians and fake Indians.
I'm going to hand over to Hat on tonight's show. He's just the one I go to that's just quite easy to know to who to share with. And thank you, Shane Bacon, for coming. Thank you for your eyes and ears. Thank you to Lace. I'm going to say thank you to everybody I can see here. Oh, Israel doesn't shoot the starving as they queue for food. It's Hamas. It's Hamas who's shooting. It's not the Israelis. Okay, come on. Little Ace Angel, come on. Come on. You've got to go for the truth. I don't want deception. I don't like fake news. It's not the Jewish people. It's not the IDF. It's Hamas. But you can believe it's what you want to believe. It's up to you. You do it. Christine UK, thank you for being here. Snap Brim Hand Crank, appreciate your eyes and ears. Thank you, Wayne the Pain. Enjoy Scotland. And we have also, of course, Light Our Souls. Lovely, love that name. And in Rumble in the Jungle, Pilot Mike 797. Always love to see you, sir. Skillful Lark, thank you for being here. VY22, fabulous. Oh, UK Neil, I missed that link. Is it the Pam Bondi thing? Ox News is reporting that AG Pam Bondi has signed an order sending evidence from DNI Tulsi Gabbard's criminal referrals to a grand jury. Just tell me when they're arrested. I'm sorry, not sorry. Just tell me when they're arrested. Well, tell me when somebody gets arrested. Of note. Like any of the big names. That's all. Just tell me. Alrighty. I will see you, everybody, all being well and good, the good Lord willing, on Wednesday. I intend to be back for the show on Wednesday. Just a heads up, I am going to be away for a few weeks, come the 17th of this month. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be away for several weeks. I hope you don't mind. Probably going to take it off. Because, I do need a break. I need a clearing of the head and the mind, a cleansing of my soul from the darkness that I have to look at and absorb. And that's going to happen. But I'm going to be here for the next couple of weeks. Chisbury Walker 53, you are most welcome, and thank you for being here. Until Wednesday, I'll be on in the morning, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on PSB UK time, and also, of course, my usual slot at 9 p.m. UK time. So, until then, ladies and gentlemen, remember, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. Until we meet again. Based Amy, out.
XRP. This isn't just.
But, you know, especially what the banks are doing. I think last week a new kind of consortium of banks said, hey, we, rolling out this new stable coin. Does that kind of freeze you guys out, or?
I think it's actually helpful. One of the problems that people have is the ability to hold digital assets can be difficult, particularly with the volatility in some digital assets. Stable coins are safer to hold if you can trust the issuer. So I think to that extent, it can be helpful because you still need liquidity. So if you imagine a dollar stable coin issued by JPM, and you have maybe some other dollar coins issued by companies like Circle, and everybody seems to be issuing a stable coin. And then you have stable coins in other currencies, because if you're not in the United States, a dollar coin is not really all that stable. You still need liquidity between those stable coins. And I think it's also important to remember that these stable coins have counterparties, and there isn't a universal counterparty. There isn't some counterparty that everybody in the world can have equal access to. It's going to have to be in some jurisdiction. It's going to have to be part of some regulatory regime. And so I think if the vision is this sort of open participation, this sort of internet of money, collateralized stablecoins will be players, but I think there will still have to be liquidity between them. And if you
a moonshot, this is, like I always say, the financial infrastructure pretty much flipping overnight. And you guys heard what Brad Garlinghouse said himself, right? For the first time in history, retail investors got in before the institutions. And you and I are both holding an asset that has been heavily
fellow patriots and soldiers of light,
are still to this day.
Welcome aboard the brand new Sky
Peter
Fortress.
Thiel, Elon Musk, Chris Larson, billionaires,
A brighter, more
Silicon
based
Valley,
future awaits.
entrepreneurs, all holding XRP, and this is a fact. And if you want to sit there and if you want to laugh about it, saying you have no proof of that, you are a pigeon brain. Okay, you are absolutely no good to this world if you think, that's not factual. We put so much information out there stating their correlations with Ripple and XRP to this date. But again, people are already getting priced out. They're